All right, let's do a postmortem. Today, we're going to break down one of Silicon Valley's most legendary flameouts, Go Corporation. And we're going to do it using Jerry Kaplan's incredible firsthand account, Startup. Because this isn't just about a company that failed. No, this is about uncovering a timeless playbook on platform warfare that, frankly, every tech investor needs to understand. And those are Kaplan's own words. It really paints a stark picture, doesn't it? Total, absolute collapse. You have to remember, Go was a true pioneer in pen computing. They were working on the predecessors to the tablets and smartphones we all have in our pockets. They had brilliant people, big-name backers, a revolutionary vision. And yet, it all ended at a liquidation auction. Now, the easy answer you always hear is, oh, they were just too early, bad timing. But that narrative really misses the point. It misses the real game that was being played. This story isn't about building a cool new gadget. It was a brutal, high-stakes war for something much, much bigger. And that gets us right to the heart of Go's strategy. Their actual ambition had very little to do with selling hardware. The goal was to establish an entire industry standard, to own the foundational language of mobile computing. The real prize was always the API. So what even is an API? Well, think of it as the set of rules that developers have to follow to build apps for an operating system. Like Apple's App Store or Google Play. Apple and Google don't build most of the apps, right? But they control the rules, they control the distribution, and they take a cut of pretty much everything. They own the ecosystem. That's the power of the API.
And Go's co-founder, Robert Carr, he just put it perfectly with this analogy. If you're the king, you get to collect the taxes, you decide where the roads are built, you claim the best land for yourself. In the tech world, whoever owns the dominant API, think Microsoft with Windows, Apple with iOS, they have a natural, almost unbreakable monopoly.
And this, right here, just nails Go's real strategy. The physical tablet itself, the pen-point computer, that was just the delivery vehicle. It was the bait to get developers and users hooked into their world. The real product, the thing that was meant to catch and keep them, was the operating system and its API. This is the variant perception we're digging into today. But look, fighting a platform war like that, it requires a massive war chest. And as Go quickly found out, raising that kind of capital is a really treacherous game. It has its own set of rules and its own hidden traps. For a startup like Go, financing was a constant tightrope walk. If your cash gets too low, the vultures, as Kaplan calls them, start circling. Investors can team up, force your valuation down, and basically take control. But on the flip side, if you fly too high, you get what's called a nosebleed valuation. And it wasn't like they were naive to this. Co-founder Kevin Doran knew the danger. See, a nosebleed valuation creates this artificial currency. You're swapping incredibly expensive stock for resources, which sounds great, but you're also setting an impossibly high bar for your next funding round, for any future exit. You really do become a prisoner of your own hype. Just look at this chart. You can see that artificial currency being minted in real time. When State Farm came in, the price per share shot up from 75 cents to $2.50. That's a 233% jump. It put Go's valuation near $75 million, which was just massive for a company with zero revenue. It was a huge vote of confidence for sure, but man, it also tightened that financial straitjacket. So, okay, you have this immense pressure coming from the financing side. Well, that pressure was then amplified like tenfold by their decision to build the hardware themselves. This strategy basically turned their need for capital into a raging cash bonfire. I mean, think about it. They weren't just writing software. They were designing their own custom silicon, this gold chick, and they were betting on screen and battery tech that wasn't even proven yet. Of course, this led to delay after delay, all while the burn rate was just astronomical. Every single month of delay meant another trip back to investors, hat in hand, which just diluted their stake and weakened their position even more. So what does all this teach us today as investors? What's the playbook we can actually pull from the ashes of this spectacular failure? Well, it all really comes down to one core insight. And here it is. This is the essential takeaway, the critical insight from the fall of Go. When you're looking at a hardware startup, you have to look past the shiny new device. So often the hardware is just a Trojan horse. The real battle, the real war, is being fought for the intellectual property, the software standard, the API. The goal isn't just to sell a box. It's to become the king of the city. And that leaves us with a final, and I think critical question for you. As you look at your own portfolio, or as you look at your next deal, I want you to really ask yourself this. Is this company just building a better mousetrap? Or are they trying to become the standard for all mousetraps? Because understanding that distinction, well, that's the difference between investing in a product and investing in a potential monopoly.